Going back a bit, you said Etsy, it's kind of changed as a platform a little bit. So I've only been on Etsy as a platform for a couple of months, like since September. But you've been on it for a couple of years. So how have you noticed changes over the last couple of years, and has it become more difficult to sell on?
So it's definitely become more difficult. Just as with any platform out there, everything becomes more difficult and changes, right? If you look back at, I don't know, if you look at Amazon, if you look at Shopify dropshipping, if you look at anything, everything changes and morphs, right? If you look, say, 4 years ago, Shopify dropshipping with Facebook ads, you didn't really have to put a crazy amount of effort into product research or anything onto building the website, and you could sell products reasonably well. Now you've got to spend a lot more time building the website, doing product research. Obviously, it's still a crazy moneymaker. Saturation does exist, but you can always make money in that industry. Or if you look at like a legacy industry, there's lots of industries that are very hard to get into.
But back then it was much more easier to start. Now it's harder. You got to know a lot more what you're doing, and there's a lot more people on the platform who already know what they're fucking doing. So you're competing against them.
I think the interesting thing is, like, if with Shopify dropshipping back a good few years ago, there's less saturation, so you need to spend less money to really test the product and really see any level of success. Whereas now, because it's a lot more known, Etsy dropshipping is not. It's a lot more known, and also there's a lot more people competing, fighting for the same kind of
niche thing.
Well, the same niche, the same space, the same digital space on Facebook is more expensive. And that's why Etsy's so interesting now, is because a year and a half, 2 years ago, Etsy, realistically, you didn't really need to run with ads right in the beginning. Like my first store ever, it did 30K revenue second month, like 25% margins. Again, I did a case study about this one. This store, I didn't run ads with it in the beginning. I ran 0 ads. I just had amazing products and I just run them.
So it got to 30K organic?
Yeah, organic second month.
Damn.
Super, super good.
And
that's super interesting because I wasn't running ads. Whereas now I recommend people to run ads. Like, I always recommend people to run ads in the beginning because
you need that initial momentum.
You need those initial momentum if you're a beginner. If you know what you're doing, you can start a store organically and it can work. But if you're a complete and utter beginner, it's a lot quicker and easier and more cost effective from a time and also money point of view.
If you just run ads and kind of get that ball rolling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.